The two small scenes that end Act 3 of Macbeth are pretty unimportant, and that is particularly true for your purposes in writing a critical essay, and there isn't really much in them worthy of note. And that's especially so the case with scene 5, which is a scene that probably wasn't even written by Shakespeare and was probably added in later because the witches proved so popular with audiences they wanted another little scene of another little chance to see them on stage. So we're going to flip past that one pretty quickly. And then when we go to scene 6, that again isn't a particularly important scene for your purposes if you're writing a critical essay, but I do want to mention it because in this scene we have a Macbeth being referred to as a tyrant, which is a useful little quote that you could just put into a critical essay. And also we get the sense in this scene, because it's Lennox, one of the Thanes, really kind of chatting about what's happening to Scotland as a result of Macbeth's leadership. And he uses this phrase, "our suffering country under a hand accursed." And remember that we have seen right from Act 2, Scene 2, where Macbeth was kind of first coming to terms with the fact that he'd killed Duncan, and he said that actually his guilt would never be he would never be free from his guilt. Rather, his guilt would come to infect all the different areas of his life. And we see that actually the whole nation of Scotland has, in a sense, been infected with the guilt of Macbeth, and we get that nicely coming through in that quote from Lennox, "our suffering country under a hand accursed." The other thing just to mention from that scene is we're really starting to see in the wake of the kind of disastrous banquet that Macbeth called, where he tried to he was pulling all the Thanes together, all the kind of power bases throughout the country. In the wake of that kind of disaster, really the support among the noblemen starts to ebb away, and really across Act 4 and into Act 5 we see that Macbeth is increasingly an isolated figure, and Lennox is just another one of these Thanes that's abandoning him.